we're here today on the state of Florida versus Nikolas Cruz for a sentencing hearing. It's my understanding that the state has testimony or evidence that they wish to present at this time.
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, we do. The first thing I'd like to put on the record is that we had asked for the full day today.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we found out that Ms. Stephanie Feist, who is the mother of Aaron Feist, she was scheduled to speak today along with numerous family members of Aaron Feist, passed away on October 27th, on Thursday. So no one from the Feist family will be here today.
So sorry.
Yes, it's terrible. And so that was part of our mourning.
Okay.
So the other thing I'd like to say is that the Montaltos, Anthony Montalto, Gina Montalto's brother, is in school.
Okay.
And he doesn't get out of school. He will be here after his lunch break with his father, Mr. Tony Montalto. So if we could, I don't know what time we'll conclude this morning with our witnesses.
Okay.
It's shifting for their statements.
Okay.
And if we could take a break so that we could accommodate
Sure.
the Montalto family.
Just let me know what you need to do and when, and I'm happy to accommodate you.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. The first family, on behalf of Mr. Christopher Hixson, Your Honor, we would like to call Miss Debbie Hixson.
Good morning, Ms. Hixson. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Please state your full name for the record.
Deborah Ann Hixson.
State.
Ms. Hixson, if there is something that you would like to say as a victim in this case pursuant to Florida law, please feel free to express yourself.
Thank you. Christopher Brent Hixson was an extraordinary man. He was a father. He was a husband. He was a son, a brother, an uncle, a cousin, a godfather, and friend to many. He was stolen from us by an unimaginable act that you planned and executed. You stole him from us, and you did not receive the justice that you deserved. There is no mitigating circumstance that will ever outweigh the heinous and cruel way you stole him from us. You were given a gift of grace and mercy, something you did not show to any of your victims. I wish nothing for you today. After today, I don't care what happens to you. You'll be sent to jail. You'll begin your punishment. You'll be a number, and for me, you will cease to exist. You have taken enough from me and my family. And today, we close this chapter on this part of our nightmare and only remember Chris for the hero he was to us every day. I pray the media and the rest of our community also closes the door and that your name and existence will be erased from everyone's conversation. You wanted to see the family suffer. Well, no more. We will not just survive, we will thrive, and we will honor Chris and the other 16 beautiful people that you took from us with positive action and wonderful memories. They will not just be victims of the MSD shooting. They were individuals. They had plans and dreams, and I will live the rest of my life making those dreams come true. I will no longer let the darkness of how he was stolen from us be how he is remembered. I will take my pain and turn it into purpose and continue to shine the bright light of Chris's life to help others. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hixson.
Thank you. The state would next call Miss Natalie Hixson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Please state your full name for the record.
Natalie Hixson.
Okay, state. You may inquire.
Ms. Hixson, is there something you'd like to say on your brother's behalf?
Yes.
Please proceed.
Since your prefrontal cortex of your brain is not developed, I will keep this very simple for you to your IQ of 83. Just like you, I use Google and social media as well. I figured you could relate to that. According to Google, the definition of victim is a person harmed, injured, or killed as a result of a crime, accident, or other event or action. You are not a victim of anything. Again, according to Google, the definition of entitled is believing oneself to be inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. This is who you are, entitled. Just an individual out for attention that can get it, whether it is good or bad, as long as you are in your spotlight. Well, that spotlight burns out tomorrow. Nobody's going to remember your name or who you are or what you did, because after tomorrow, nobody cares about you or what is going to happen to you, because it ends. Since social media is so important to you, this came across my TikTok For You page. Sadly, I can't remember the fellow educator that this quote belongs to, but you are born looking like your parents, but when you die looking like your decisions. My brother Chris, on February 14th, died a hero. Not just to our family, but to countless others of individuals that he touched. You, however, you will die as nothing, because you are nothing.
Thank you. The state would next call Mr. Thomas Hixson.
Good morning. Nice to see you again. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Please state your full name for the record.
Thomas Emmanuel Hixson.
Okay, state. You may inquire.
Mr. Hixson, is there something that you'd like to say on behalf of your father, Mr. Christopher Hixson?
I would.
Please.
Treat, never, keep. 4 words that don't mean much to a lot of people. But anyone who's gone through any kind of basic firearms training understands that these are the 4 weapon safety rules. Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Never point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Keep your fingers straight off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Keep your weapon on safe until you intend to fire. These delineate the intent to fire. Pretty straightforward. You learn these when you were in JROTC on the marksmanship team. I know that because I was also a member of the JROTC marksmanship team when I was a student here in Broward County myself. So you knew that, you understood that. And the evidence of this case proved that you had intent to do what you did. A year ago, in this very building, you told us that you had remorse for what you did. Well, where was your remorse when you saw my father injured and bleeding out on the floor and decided to shoot him for a 3rd time? Your defense preyed on the idea of your humanity, yet you had none for those that you encountered on February 14th. You're not a disturbed or broken person. You're a person who fundamentally lacks character. You lacked gratitude for what you did have in life, which is more than many others have. You lacked courage to seek whatever help you needed. You lacked the strength to ignore your misguided anger and channel it into something positive. And you lacked love, not only for yourself, but for those around you. Instead of seeking out a community to support you, you resorted to the lowest form of communication, violence. You sought out power and strength over others, ignoring that the strongest people are those who have a tribe behind them. That's what people like my dad had that made them strong. They had people around them who supported them and built them up. What you did was weaken a family, a community, and generations of young adults by taking their strongest advocate out of their corner. You are, unfortunately, living proof that evil does exist in our world, and you've proven that you have nothing positive to contribute to society. You're not going to be a case study or provide some kind of breakthrough insight into the mind of a school shooter. You're instead going to be relegated to a name on a tombstone that no one ever visits. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Teresa Robinovitz and Melissa Rosen, please.
Good morning. Are you going to be speaking first, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Please state your full name for the record.
Teresa Robinovitz.
Thank you.
Ms. Robinovitz, would you like to make a statement on behalf of Alyssa?
Yes.
Please do.
Two weeks prior to February 14, 2018, I bought Valentine's Day cards at the nearby dollar store, only to have met a cashier. As I checked out, that would change my life forever. Those cards are still in my closet, untouched. In addition, minus one day, your family would have been my neighbors directly across the street on Lakeview Trail in Mir-a-Lago. And I would have been the first person to come over to your house and bring you brownies and welcome you to the neighborhood. But no, instead, I was sent an Instagram picture and dialogue with you pointing an AR-15 directly at my townhouse. Nikolas. I have a great idea for you while you're spending your time in jail. You should write a book on how you and your defense counsel beat the judicial system and got away with murder. And speaking of the judicial system, the Florida Supreme Court should look at the law that was changed in 2016 that allows the minority rule in the case of a death sentence verdict. If killing 17 innocent people and wounding 17 more does not warrant the death penalty, then what possibly does? I'm too old to see you live out your life sentence, but I hope your ever-breathing moment here on earth is miserable, and you repent for your sins, Nikolas, and burn in hell.
Ms. Rosen. Great.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Please state your full name for the record.
Melissa Rosen.
Okay, Ms. Rosen, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
When tomorrow starts without me, and I am not there to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me, I wish so much you wouldn't cry the way you did today while thinking of the many things we did not get to say. I know how much you love me as much as I love you, and each time that you think of me, I know you'll miss me too. But when tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand, and said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I'd have to leave behind all those I dearly loved. But when I walked through heaven's gates, I felt so much at home when God looked down and smiled at me from his great golden throne. He said, "This is eternity, and all I promised you. Today your life on earth is past, but here life starts anew. So when tomorrow starts without me, don't think we're far apart, for every time you think of me, I'm right here in your heart."
Good morning, sir. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down, and please state your full name.
David Robinovitz.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Robinovitz, as Alyssa's grandfather, do you have some words to say?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Parkland murderer. My name is David Robinovitz. I'm Alyssa Aladev's grandfather, and she was my friend. I thought about today somewhat, a lot, and I realized I kind of came to a conclusion that you guys won for now, and basically we lost for now. But that's not going to happen, because Parkland murderer, there's going to come a day. It could be a week from now, it could be a month from now, it could be 40 years from now. You're going to die. When you die, it is my fondest hope that they take you and and burn you and take your ashes and throw them in the garbage dump. You know why? Because garbage to garbage. And at that time, Parkland murderer, it is my hope that you go somewhere to meet your maker of whatever it is. And Parkland murderer, I hope your maker sends you directly to hell to burn for the rest of your eternity.
Is this Vicky Albert up here? Stacy Lapel.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your full name for the record.
Stacy Lapel.
Nice to see you again. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. State.
Ms. Lapel, do you have a statement that you'd like to make as a victim?
I do.
Please go ahead.
You don't know me, but you tried to kill me. I will have a scar on my arm in the memory of you pointing your gun at me, ingrained in my brain forever. The person I was at 2:20 on Wednesday, February 14th, 2018, is not the same one who stands here today. I am broken and altered, and I will never look at the world the same way again. I used to be eternally happy and relatively carefree, but now I have worries and fears that seem unreasonable to most. There's a change in me that runs deep. There's underlying sadness within me that is never quite gone. A part of me is damaged, and I can feel how different I am, even if it isn't visible. The scars inside of me are those of horror and guilt. Horror at the memories of what you left behind in your wake, and the guilt that I am left with because I wish I could have done more to save my coworkers and my students who you killed. Why should I bear any burden from what you created? I look at the world differently now, with very little trust in a defensive mindset. I try not to let those who are close to me see it because I am the pulse of my family. They rely on me for comfort, for strength, and my ability to look at situations in a logical manner. I have walls up because I feel like I am always in protection mode. This has fractured friendships and altered relationships with my family members. I can't accept it when someone wants to comfort me because I feel like I must always be strong. This has repelled people from my life. It is now a knee-jerk reaction, the new me. My kids almost lost their mother, and my husband almost lost his wife. Their view of the world and their innocence was taken from them as well. My children were at school that day too. They were afraid for themselves, but even worse, they thought I was dead. Teenagers who were living their best life were faced with unheard trauma, attending funerals of their friends and watching over me, their own mother, for signs of unraveling. I see you in my nightmares and in my daydreams, and not a day goes by that I don't think about that horrible day. Because of you, I check for all exits wherever I am. Because of you, I think of the worst case scenario for myself and my family. Because of you, I will never feel safe again. This statement is offering just a crumb of closure for me, knowing that I will live with this until I take my last breath. I am disappointed and disgusted with the verdict that was handed to you. You do not deserve the best case scenario, and under any circumstance, the idea that you, a cold-blooded killer, can actually live each day, eat your meals, and put your head down at night seems completely unjust. The only comfort I have is that your life in prison will be filled with horror and fear. So my hope for you is that you die sooner rather than later. I have no forgiveness in my heart for you. You are a monster with no remorse, and every breath you take is a breath wasted. Thank you.
Ms. Lapel, I know I speak for everyone when I say you are a hero.
Thank you.
That's how myself and my staff will always remember you. You were a hero to those children that day, so thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Bria Eric Wakander.
Good morning.
Morning.
Who's going to speak first?
We both, well,
You want to speak
well
first?
I'm going to speak first, and then who's going to take
Okay,
over?
would you both please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. And Miss or ma'am, will you please state your full name?
It's Bria Wakander,
How do you spell your last name, please?
Wikander.
And sir, what is your name, please?
Eric Wakander?
And the same spelling.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Wakander, on behalf of your son Ben, do you have some words to say?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
My name is Bria Wakander. This is my husband, Eric. We are Ben Wakander's parents. We are here today to speak on behalf of our son. The following is what he wants conveyed to the court. Ben was shot 3 times on February 14, 2018 at Marjory, Stoneman, Douglas. He was 17 years old. Today I will be sharing some of what happened to Ben on that day and afterwards. This is what he is choosing to make public. Ben was shot in his arm, his abdomen, and his back. These were not graze wounds. He was shot through and through. He had extensive internal injuries in addition to a shattered humerus that required surgery to insert a titanium rod to hold his arm in place. He sustained severe radial nerve damage in his right dominant arm. Something that still has not fully recovered over 4 years later. Ben spent 14 days in the hospital and has gone through 7 surgeries with the possibility of more in the future. He endured countless painful procedures on a daily basis while in the hospital. Ben was brave and strong and inspired even the doctors and nurses that got to know him. One of Ben's trauma surgeons, who was a surgeon in the military, once said to us, "Ben sustained injuries similar to what a soldier would in combat." That really put it into perspective for us. His initial recovery included months of wound changes at the hospital, physical therapy multiple times a week, and countless doctor's appointments. When he came home, he couldn't even stand long enough to brush his teeth. Shrapnel that is lodged in his spine was pressing on nerves, causing severe pain in his legs and feet. To this day, he is not to this day, he is still recovering. He continues to have limitations to what he can and cannot do. You will never understand the pain that he has gone through. His life and the lives of our entire family have changed forever, both physically and mentally. He was one of the most critically injured students that day, but he has chosen to take what happened to him and use it as power to help others. Challenges will lie in his path, but he will conquer them, and we will help him.
We hope that you, the monster who did this to our son, endure a painful existence in your remaining days. Whatever pain you experience in prison, unfortunately, will be a fraction of what Ben endured.
Thank you.
Vicky Alphadev.
Good morning.
Morning.
Please state your full name for, please state your full name for the record.
Rebecca Harkin,
How do you spell your last name, please?
Jarquin.
Thank you.
Ma'am, do you have some words on behalf of your granddaughter? I'm sorry.
It's on behalf of Alyssa Aladev's grandmother, Vicky Aladev.
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay. There are no words does not apply today, as I have many words that I choose to say. You made a decision, and I pray that you are tormented and tortured, both physically and mentally, because of it. How dare you use the excuse that you performed the unthinkable because you had a challenging upbringing? In your video, you demonstrated that you were in full control and quite calculative with what you intended to do. You carried it out and were quite coherent to request a sentencing trial by jury. How dare you cover your ears during the trial? How dare you destroy this community and my family? God should not have mercy on your soul or physical being. You robbed my family and many others of life, happiness, love, and so much more. Alyssa was an innocent, charismatic, and empathetic young soul who was on a path to make a difference in this world. You destroyed that. You single-handedly robbed her of the right to live that you exercised by request of jury trial for sentencing. As a grandmother, you took away my pleasure of spending quality time with my granddaughter. I pass by stores she loved to shop in, and all I'm filled with is sadness. The love between a grandmother and grandchild is powerful, and you've single-handedly destroyed that. I'm tortured every day knowing that I won't receive a call saying, "Grandma, can you?" or "Grandma, I love you." All I have now are the memories. Your actions have turned my family and my life upside down. Alyssa's grandfather, my late husband, lost his desire to live, which in turn cost him his life through illness. You've abolished all fibers of happiness. I'm not here today because my own health has been compromised, somewhat in part to your actions. We have no inner peace and are suffering tremendously. What you did is worse than pouring liquid acid on an open wound. The fact that you are still breathing the same air that I am sends shivers down my spine. You are a revolting entity. I can't even call you human, as you are not. Your excuse was to blame dear old mommy. Are you serious? I hope you blame your dear old mom for the hell you're going to receive while in jail. The death penalty would have been a cakewalk compared to the demons you'll face going forward. I'm filled with many hateful and hurtful words, but alas, you're not worth any of them. You've not earned any mercy. Again, the death penalty would have been your best retreat. May every second of your rotten existence be faced with the images of each person you've slaughtered, along with each family member you've damaged. May our words haunt you like your actions haunt us.
Your Honor, at this time, could we have a 5-minute break
Absolutely.
just to see who's here?
Absolutely. Why don't we make it 10? We're going to be in recess until about 5 minutes after 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you.